Hello. In this video, I show you how to set up real-time replication for VMware vSphere VMs. Unlike regular replication, real-time replication jobs continuously copy data from the source host as it is being generated. In the event of a disaster, this feature allows you to perform a failover to state just mere minutes or even seconds before the failure. For any replication job, you have your primary site with the source VMs and you configure a secondary site, whether on-site or off-site, with your target host. You should have the NAKIVO Backup and Replication component responsible for transferring data, that is, the transporter, installed on each site. Let me first go over my setup and the infrastructure used in this video recording. As of the time of recording, real-time replication in NAKIVO Backup and Replication is only supported for VMware vSphere. In my VMware vCenter, I have primary data center with the source virtual appliance transporter already installed, and I have a secondary data center with a target virtual appliance transporter installed. As for the director, that is the main NAKIVO Backup and Replication component that provides the web interface. I have it installed in the target data center, that is secondary data center. In case I have a disaster at the primary data center, I will still be able to reach the director. The source must be a cluster managed by vCenter, while the target can be a standalone ESXi server, or you can add it to the same vCenter. That's up to you. Now, I have to change the acceptance level of the source ESXi server to community level. You have to change the host image profile acceptance level on each ESXi server on the source to community level. To do that, select the ESXi server, click the Configure tab, and go to Security Profile. Then, navigate to Host Image Profile Acceptance Level and click Edit. Change the acceptance level to Community Supported. Click OK to save the settings. You have to do the same on the second ESXi host on the source data center and set the acceptance level to Community Supported. Now I can move to the NAKIVO Backup and Replication web interface and go to Settings, then Inventory in order to add the source vCenter to the inventory. Click the plus icon and select Virtual as a platform and click Next. You have to select VMware, vCenter, or ESXi host as type. Next, at the Options step, enter the display name, for example, vCenter. Enter the IP address of this vCenter server, as well as the username and password for access to this vCenter. Click Finish to save the settings and add the selected vCenter to the NAKIVO solution inventory. Adding the source vCenter to the inventory is in progress. The vCenter has been added successfully to the inventory. Now we can see the primary data center and the secondary data center on the same vCenter. Next, you need to install the I/O filter on each ESXi server on the source side. The I/O filter must be installed into a cluster. You do not need to install the I/O filter on the target side. To install the I/O filter, click Nodes, click Got It, click Plus, and hit Real-Time Replication Service. As I said earlier, you have to install the I/O filter only on the primary data center, that is the source data center. Once you select the cluster, click Next. At the next step, you have to apply a storage policy and assign it to the virtual machines that you want to use for real-time replication. I apply the storage policy to one virtual machine only. Next, real-time replication services will be installed now. We can check the activity in the corresponding. It's running now. You can also check the progress in VMware vCenter. The task of installing the I/O filter has started. You have to wait until the I/O filter is installed on both ESXi servers. To check whether the I/O filter has been already installed on each ESXi server on the source cluster, select the ESXi host. Click Configure, then I/O filters. You can see NAK filter already installed. Same for the second ESXi server. Now switch over to the NAKIVO Backup and Replication web interface to check the activities. Setting up the real-time replication services has been completed successfully. I go back to Settings in order to add the target transporter to Nodes. Under Settings, select Nodes and click the plus sign. Before I continue, I can check the status of the I/O filter displayed for the nodes. The status is good in this case. Click the plus sign and hit VMware vSphere appliance under Add Existing Node. I've already installed the virtual appliance when the I/O service installed automatically. Select the target ESXi server and select the target virtual appliance transporter. Enter the username of the transporter virtual appliance and the password for this user. You can enter the transporter name in the appropriate field. Click Adding the target transporter is in progress. We can check the adding status in %. We can also monitor it in the list of nodes. Now we can see that the target virtual appliance transporter is added successfully and its state is good. It's time to add the source virtual appliance transporter to the nodes. Click plus and hit VMware vSphere appliance under Add Existing Node. Select a cluster as the source. Select the source virtual appliance transporter. Enter the username and password for the selected transporter appliance. If you expand more options, you can enter the transporter name. Click Adding the source virtual appliance transporter to the nodes is in progress, and it takes some time. The source virtual appliance transporter has been added successfully to nodes. Now move to Data Protection to create a real-time replication job for the VM. Click plus and hit Real-Time Replication for VMware. At the source step, using the hosts and clusters view in the primary data center, select the virtual machine with the applied VM storage policy. Note that I cannot select other virtual machines because the VM storage policy is not applied to them. Click Next to continue. At the destination step, I can select a standalone ESXi host as the destination container. I select the data store attached to this ESXi host. Next, you can enable network mapping by selecting the source network and target network. Click Next. You can enable ReIP to change the IP address configuration for the destination VM. Let's keep it as it is for now. At the retention step, select the recovery point objective or RPO. By default, it is 1 minute. You change the RPO to as low as 1 second or increase it to 60 minutes, which is the maximum value. You can select the Fail VM replication if RPO exceeds the specified time option. The maximum time value is also 60 minutes. You can select the journal mode, roll forward journal, or rollback journal. With the rollback journal option, new data changes are saved to the VM replica directly, and all data in the replica is saved to the journal. Old data in the journal is removed based on the journal settings. If I select the roll forward journal option, then new data changes are saved to the journal, and old data is merged to the replica based on the journal settings. For now, I'll keep the setting as it is and use the roll forward journal. You can select the Journal History Limit option to set a limit for journal history between 1 hour and 30 days. I'll keep it set to 1 day. The Journal Size Limit option is used to set a limit for the journal size. The value can be between 1 GB and 20 terabytes. For now, I keep this option unchecked and go to the next step. At the Options step, define the job name. I will keep the job name as it is. I keep the job priority at 5, which is the lowest priority. We can enable network encryption to encrypt traffic between the I/O filter daemon and the journal service over port 63092. Encryption uses a certificate on the transporter, which establishes a secure connection to the journal service. Then, I can limit data storage on the source host per VM to 10 GB. I can exclude and use blocks. I can keep the default values for the next options. For the source host, I need to select the source transporter, which is source V8 transporter. Then, I select the same transporter for ESXi host 24. For the target host, I need to select the target transporter, which is the target virtual appliance transporter. Click Finish to save the job settings and make it ready to run once the settings have been saved. The job has been created and we can run it manually by clicking Run and then clicking Run once again. The job started successfully, and you can see the job running status with the transporters used for this job at the source and destination sites. Here's the name of the virtual machine being replicated. If I check VMware vSphere client, I can see that there is something created in the secondary data center related to the replica VM. The replica has been already created at the destination location. You can see that the job state is running successfully. You need to keep this real-time replication job running all the time in order to replicate any changes from the primary VM to the secondary VM. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this video helpful, click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch new uploads. You can also download a free trial version of NAKIVO Backup and Replication using the link in the description and try the solution in your own environment for 15 days.